In the bustling heart of the city, where skyscrapers loomed like silent giants and the streets thrummed with ambition, there sat a loft-style office that was anything but ordinary. This was the headquarters of Creativity Unleashed, a small advertising agency with a reputation for bold ideas and a team of eccentric dreamers. The office itself was a chaotic masterpiece, mismatched furniture scavenged from thrift stores, walls covered in campaign sketches and neon post-it notes, and a coffee machine that groaned like an ancient beast. At the center of it all stood the Old Faithful, ear-hulking, decade-old printer that had faithfully churned out pitches, reports, and brainstorming doodles, until it didn't. The trouble began on a Monday. Sarah, the agency's lead copywriter, was hunched over her laptop, racing to finish a client report for a trendy kombucha brand. She hit a print, expecting the familiar whir of Old Faithful to signal relief. Instead, the printer coughed out a single sheet. No report, just a cryptic message in bold, black ink. You're doing great. Keep going. Sarah squinted at the page, her tired eyes narrowing. What the heck, she muttered, assuming it was a glitch. She sent the document again, tapping her foot impatiently. This time, Old Faithful delivered, a believe in yourself. You've got this. She snorted and pinned the note to her corkboard. Fine, printer. Be weird. I've got work to do. But Old Faithful's quirks didn't stop there. By Wednesday, the printer had gone rogue, replacing every job with random motivational quotes. Tom Rivera, the office manager with a penchant for loud ties and louder sighs, sent the monthly budget to print. What he got instead was, money isn't everything, but your effort is priceless. This isn't funny, he grumbled, though he tucked the note into his desk drawer anyway. Priya Kapoor, the social media coordinator with a wardrobe full of vintage scarves and a knack for viral memes, tried printing a content calendar. Old Faithful's response? Your next post will go viral. Trust me. She laughed, her bangles jingling as she waved the paper at Sarah. Okay, this is kind of cute. Maybe the printer's possessed. Even Jake Nguyen, the new intern with a mop of dark hair, wasn't spared. He sent his timesheet to print, hoping to slip out early for a coding meetup. The printer spat out, You're destined for greatness, young one. Jake blinked, then shrugged. Cool, I guess. What started as a quirky nuisance quickly spiraled into a full-blown crisis. Deadlines loomed like storm clouds over the agency. The kombucha client was expecting their report, a pitch for a sustainable sneaker brand was due Friday, and the team's usual creative buzz was drowned out by the printer's relentless optimism. Client presentations were delayed, invoices went unsent, and the office descended into chaos. Sarah's desk became a graveyard of crumpled motivational notes, Tom started pacing like a caged lion, and Priya's attempts to troubleshoot the printer ended with her muttering, I'm not a tech person. Theories flew around the office like wildfire. Priya suggested a ghost, maybe a motivational speaker who died mid-seminar. Tom blamed a virus, muttering about Russian hackers while rebooting the printer for the 10th time. Sarah, ever the pragmatist, insisted it was a hardware malfunction and called IT, only to be told their contract didn't cover haunted printers. The team's frustration boiled over during a brainstorming session when Marcus Lee, the CEO, emerged from his glass-walled office clutching a sheet that read, Even CEOs need a break. Go get a coffee. Marcus, a lanky man in his 40s with a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow and a wardrobe of rumpled blazers, was the calm anchor of the agency. But even he had limits. He held up the paper, his voice tight. All right, team. Who's behind this? We've got the sneaker pitch tomorrow, and I need that deck printed, now. No more games. Silence fell. Eyes darted around the room, but no one confessed. The printer whirred mockingly in the background, spitting out another unsolicited note. A teamwork makes the dream work. Marcus groaned, tossing it into the recycling bin. This is a disaster. Fix it, or we're all toast. By Friday, the agency was a pressure cooker ready to burst. The sneaker pitch was a mess of handwritten notes and emailed PDFs. The kombucha client was threatening to pull their account, and Old Faithful showed no signs of relenting. The team was exhausted, demoralized, and out of ideas. The haunted printer had turned their creative haven into a battleground, and no one knew how to reclaim it. Amid the chaos, one person remained unfazed, Jake Nguyen, the intern. At 22, Jake was a tech prodigy with a quiet confidence and a love for puzzles that rivaled his passion for cold brew. While the team flailed, he'd been watching Old Faithful with growing curiosity. The messages weren't random. They had a pattern, a personality. And Jake was determined to crack it. On Friday afternoon, as the office emptied out after the disastrous sneaker pitch, which they'd barely salvaged with a tablet presentation, Jake stayed behind. Armed with his laptop, a bag of sour gummy worms, and a playlist of lo-fi beats, he approached the printer like a detective sizing up a suspect. "All right, Old Faithful," he said, popping a gummy into his mouth. "Let's see what's under the hood." He started with the basics, rebooting, checking the drivers, scanning for malware. Nothing. The printer hummed innocently, as if taunting him. Then, on a hunch, he dug into the firmware logs, a digital diary of the printer's soul. Hours ticked by, the office growing dark as the city lights flickered on outside. Finally, at 9:47 p.m. he found it, a hidden script buried deep in the code. The printer had been hacked, but not by some shadowy cybercriminal. The culprit was Ethan Brooks, a former developer who'd left the agency 6 months earlier for a cushy gig at a tech startup. Ethan had been the office prankster, famous for stunts like filling Tom's desk with rubber chickens. Before his exit, he'd planted the script as a parting gift, a playful jab meant to keep the team inspired. The code intercepted print jobs and swapped them with motivational quotes pulled from a database he'd curated. It was supposed to run for a week, then self-delete. But Ethan had botched the timer, and the prank had stretched into a 6-month siege. Jake leaned back in his chair, grinning. "Ethan, you absolute legend." He could have wiped the script then and there, restoring Old Faithful to its mundane duties. But as he glanced around the office, at Sarah's wall of motivational notes, Tom's drawer of secret keepsakes, Priya's viral prophecy pinned above her monitor, he hesitated. The printer had annoyed them, sure, but it had also sparked something. Laughter. Connection. A flicker of joy in their high-pressure world. An idea sparked. What if he didn't kill the prank? What if he made it better? Jake cracked his knuckles and dove back in, rewriting the script from the ground up. He linked it to the agency's internal Slack channel, where the team traded praise, memes, and coffee orders. Now, the printer would pull snippets of real compliments and turn them into personalized notes, slipped alongside regular print jobs. He added filters to ensure work documents printed intact, with the encouragement as a bonus. For fun, he threw in a randomizer. Every 10th print would get an absurdly specific prediction, just to keep things weird. It took all night. By 5 a.m., bleary-eyed but triumphant, Jake tested his creation. He sent a dummy file from Sarah's account. Old Faithful word, then spat out the file, followed by a slip. "Is Sarah, your pitch is a masterpiece." "Tom." Jake pumped his fist. "Yes." He sent another from Priya's profile. Priya, your creativity is unmatched." "Marcus." "Perfect." One more, for himself. Jake, you're a tech wizard." "The team." He chuckled, pocketing the note. Monday morning, the team shuffled in, still reeling from the week's chaos. Sarah sent her kombucha report to print, bracing for another motivational ambush. Instead, she got the report, and the slip from Tom. She froze, then burst out laughing. "Tom, did you see this?" Tom peeked over, his tie a garish shade of mustard yellow. "What the?" "I said that last week." He sent his budget sheet, and out came, "Tom, your organization keeps us afloat." "Priya." He blushed, adjusting his tie. "Well, that's nice." Priya's turn, her content calendar printed, followed by Marcus's praise. She whooped, twirling her scarf. "Jake, you genius. Did you do this?" Jake shrugged, sipping his cold brew. "Maybe." The office exploded in chatter as everyone tested the printer. Notes flew like confetti. "Marcus, your leadership is gold." "Sarah." "Priya, your energy lights up the room." "Jake." Even Marcus got one. "Marcus, you're the heart of this place." "The team." He smirked, tucking it into his blazer. "All right, kid. You've redeemed yourself." Then came the first random prediction. Tom printed an inverse and got, beware the coffee spill at 3 p.m. He scoffed, until, at 2:58, he knocked over his mug, soaking his tie. The team howled, and Old Faithful became an instant legend. They started sending each other Slack messages just to see what the printer would churn out, turning it into a game. The haunted printer was no longer a foe, it was their mascot, their cheerleader, their weird little oracle. The transformation was electric. With Old Faithful delivering work documents and personalized praise, the agency's vibe shifted overnight. The once tense loft buzzed with laughter and camaraderie. Desks became galleries of motivational slips, pinned up like trophies. Sarah's corkboard overflowed, Priya strung hers into a garland, and Tom, despite his gruff exterior, kept a growing stack in his drawer, labeled the evidence of appreciation. Productivity surged. The kombucha client loved their report, and the bonus note Jake slipped in, your brand's vibe is unstoppable. Creativity unleashed, renewing their contract. The sneaker pitch, reworked with fresh energy, landed a 6-figure deal. The team fed off the printer's positivity, churning out ideas faster than ever. Brainstorming sessions turned into raucous debates, fueled by coffee and the occasional absurd prediction, like a Sarah, your next tagline will win an award. It did, 3 months later. But the printer's magic didn't stay contained. During a client visit from the sneaker brand, their CMO, a hipster named Laner with a man bun and a hemp blazer, spotted Priya's garland. "What's with the notes?" she asked, adjusting her round sunglasses. Marcus leaned back, grinning. "Oh, that's Old Faithful. Our haunted printer. Started as a prank, turned into our secret weapon." He recounted the saga, Ethan's hack, Jake's fix, the Slack-powered praise. Laner's eyes lit up. "That's brilliant. Can I tweet this?" "Go for it," Priya said, already typing. She posted a thread on Twitter, meet Old Faithful, the printer that went from glitch to guru. Here's how it saved our agency, and our sanity. She attached photos, Sarah laughing at a note, Tom's coffee-soaked tie, Jake hunched over the printer mid-fix. The hashtag #HauntedPrinterFix took off, racking up thousands of retweets. Blogs picked it up, at the ad agency where even the printer has soul, and the agency's inbox flooded with client inquiries. The buzz birthed a viral campaign. Priya and Sarah collaborated on the Old Faithful diaries, A series of videos showcasing the printer's best notes and the team's reactions. One clip, Tom reenacting his coffee spill while the printer spat out a "told you so," hit 1 million views. The campaign won a social media award, and creativity unleashed became the talk of the industry. Revenue spiked 30% in 6 months, fueled by new clients drawn to their quirky culture. Old Faithful evolved too. Jake, now a full-time printer whisperer, he added features, a motivation Mondays with weekly team boosts, a compliment roulette for random praise swaps, even a future flash mode with cryptic predictions. Some were eerily accurate, like a prayer, "Your scarf will start a trend." It did, after a fashion influencer DM'd her. Others were hilariously off-base, a Marcus, "Avoid pigeons this week." He didn't, and one pooped on his blazer. The team swore the printer had a mind of its own, a theory bolstered when it printed "I'm watching you all. Keep shining." With no sender. The printer's fame drew talent. Applications poured in from creatives craving a workplace where innovation thrived, even in the tech. One hire, a graphic designer named MIA, turned the printer's notes into a font called A Faithful Sans, which the agency patented and licensed. Another, a writer named Leo, penned a short story about Old Faithful that won a local literary prize. The agency's loft became a pilgrimage site for ad nerds, who'd pose with the printer like it was a celebrity. Years later, as tech advanced and new machines replaced Old Faithful's workload, the printer stayed, retired but revered. It sat in a corner, draped in prayer scarves, occasionally whirring to life with unsolicited wisdom. "A change is good, but I'm still here." Visitors asked for the story, and the team obliged, their eyes sparkling with pride. The sneaker brand immortalized it in a limited edition shoe, the Old Faithful Kick, with motivational soles. A documentary crew even pitched a film, The Printer That Printed Hope. In the end, Old Faithful wasn't just a machine, it was a legacy. It taught creativity unleashed to embrace the unexpected, to find joy in chaos, and to turn glitches into gold. The agency thrived, not just as a business, but as a family forged by a printer with a soul. And somewhere, Ethan Brooks, scrolling Twitter, saw #haunted printerfix and smiled, knowing his prank had sparked a revolution.